Hello, and welcome to Tona's Table. I am your host, Tona Buck. I am excited to be here tonight. Repeat after me. Today is going to be a great day. Say it again. Today is going to be a great day. I don't care what you were doing before you saw this face, but as of now, it's going to be great. Oh my God, I'm so excited about tonight. You just don't understand. So I've been taking tips and positive feedback from people because I'm gonna be the best that I can. Yeah, and my mama gonna call me now. Let me turn this off. I plan on learning how to be the best interviewer ever, like in the whole entire world. I tell y'all all the time, I can kindly talk in front of thousands of people because I like to talk. But to sit back and interview is very challenging for someone with ADHD and love to talk as well. So I've been, like I said, I've been sucking it up like a sponge because I told you before. Somebody said to me, I don't listen to people. I do listen to people. I just listen to the right people. So before I go into Tona's table, I just want to give you a little snippet about tonight's guest, Andre Williams, entrepreneur, author, taking a block back by house, an amazing, awesome man. I'm honored to have him on my show. But before I go into this great guy, and I'm gonna keep my part short tonight because me and Andre could talk for hours. So I'm gonna try to keep Tony's update really brief. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's 2021. Let's see, was very challenging. We had some ups, we had some downs, some good and some bad. We lost some people. I send my condolences out to all those families who lost loved ones. We've celebrated people. I want to say happy birthday to everyone, and especially all these amazing January babies that's coming up. My grandmama had was fertile at the same time for like most of her life. She has 8 kids, and I want to say like 5 of them born in January. I'm like, Lord have mercy. So I want to get a shout out to all my friends and family who birthdays are coming up. What else? 2022, I always have to get the rundown of what I'm doing. Um, Not only, obviously, I do a podcast, I'm also a sexual abuse survivor and an advocate. So 2022, my organization, Rosa, will be having a worldwide virtual sexual assault walk April the 9th. And that means everyone around the world can hold up their phones or take themselves walking, and it'll be on a 24 hours stream station. And we will be walking in unity at different times around the world to say enough and that we are fighting for no mores and letting predators know and putting them on, um, letting them know that we want to educate and empower each other so we can shut this mess down. Bottom line. With that said, my documentary is in the process of being done. If you have not seen my first documentary, it's Why We Didn't Tell. It's on YouTube. 10 warriors who shared their stories about sexual abuse and their survival of sexual abuse and all the trauma that went with it and how amazing and great we still turned out to be. It's never been done in history because African Americans and brown people, we really don't talk about our issues at all. So if you have not had the opportunity to look at that Why We Didn't Tell, please do. My second documentary is called Enough, and I have some more brown and black awesome people to share their stories. And not that it's not affecting every culture and every color and every race around the world. I just focus when I do the documentaries on brown and black people because, like I said, what's done in the house stays in the house, and we don't talk about it. That's what I. That's my desire in my platform. I always have to give a shout out to Vigilance Media, who is doing a documentary called Maxwell and Anna Brown, and Caleb, who Lucky, I never say his last name, Caleb Lucky from Villanova College, who is directing this documentary. The first one is a hot mess. And I say that with respect because I and two other of my co-workers, friends put it together in 24 hours. And we were not specialists in doing that at all. And also the quality was bad, but the stories would change your life. They would change your life. You'll never be the same if you hear the warrior stories. So the content is amazing. The filming is not all that, but I promise you, it'll change your life. YouTube, Why We Didn't Tell, Tona Buck. Then I am in my going to write my fourth book. I'm in the process of writing my fourth book, and so that'll come out in 2022. I am also planning with my organization, Rules Advising Over Sexual Abuse, rulesofwarriors.org, a women's retreat for sexual abuse survivors in 2022. So 2022 is going to be busy for me, and I had 2 weeks off, and I was a total bum, and I loved it. I loved everything about it, everything about just laying around. And I'm an educator, so when school closed, I was like, hallelujah. What are you going to do? I did go down south to visit my mother and took the babies down there for Christmas. We had an amazing time, 74 degrees, beautiful. But I couldn't wait to come back home and get back on the couch with Prince. And we, we got our fingers crossed. For those who know who Prince is, that's my 4-legged baby. So the fingers are crossed that, he won't cut up tonight, because I keep trying to allow him to be in my space when I do the interviews. And sometimes, it's like a hit and miss with him, because he type flight security. So if he hears something, he going to flip out and, run all over the house, because that's what he does. Anything else going on in 2022? Happy New Year's. I hope all y'all were safe. Let's see. All my things that I want to do in 2022. Birthday shout outs. It's probably some more stuff, but I don't really care about Tona's update right now, because my guest is just too freaking amazing and not to just go right through him. When I say, let me give you history first of all about me and my big little brother. And the reason why I call him my big little brother, for a few reasons. First of all, because y'all know I'm 25 forever. So he's older than me technically. Then if you look at his body size, he's trying to get up to where I am. He try to work it out like I am too. We work out things. So he's trying to build himself up to be like his big sister. He got a couple more years to have a body is tight and built like mine. Y'all know I'm being facetious. Dre works out. So, but history. I am also a radio personality on the 5-time Stellar Award winning radio station WIMG 1300 AM. So every time Dre would do something, by all means necessary, I need to give him a platform to talk, because he does such an amazing and incredible things, right? He is a true world changer. So he was on my show. I interviewed him, and then he asked me to be on his podcast, as he started his own podcast, which was amazing. So what I did not know was that I was his first guest on the podcast. Long story short, we hit it off. We connected. But if you're going to see how the interview goes tonight. Imagine me and Dre on the same platform, because Dre is cool, calm, collective. Y'all know my ADHD be like, yes, and yeah. I'm always like this. Somebody was like, do you wake up hype? Yes. Do you go to bed hype? Yes. It's who I am. I'm excited about life, and my brain works 100 miles an hour. So yes, I'm always like this. So he was so amazing that he was like, Tona, you need your own podcast. Really? He said, I got you. He has always had me. For the first time we met, we connected, and I am so honored and so blessed that God put this young man in my life, because I say all the time, especially for me, and I don't know about other people, I appreciate when God allows people to see things in me that I don't see in myself, right? And the thing is not that they only see it, but they support it. It's one thing to have people see things about you and say great things about you. It's another thing for somebody to pour into you and to support you. That's a whole nother level. And I'm glad I said that. Hold that thoughts, Drake. I got ADHD. I'm gonna add you back in 1 second. January the 24th, because I thought about supporters. January 24th, I have a meeting for Trenton, New Jersey's sexual assault virtual walk. It's from 6:30 to 7:30. Everyone is invited. I will post it again. I said this all the time, and I said this, and it adds right back to where I'm going to go back with Dre. I don't need, and I'm still in this from Pastor Darius Daniel, one of the best around. I don't need a whole lot. I don't need 100 kittens. I only need about 10 lions. When you have dreams and visions, you don't need a whole lot of folk that's just going to talk. I don't need 100 kittens to make my purpose and my vision come to fruition. I need about 10 strong lions to make it happen. And Dre is one of my 10 lions. And like I said, I'm honored that God connected us. So with all that said, because I will go on and on and on, and he has so many great things he's doing. So I need this amazing, awesome, fantastic world changer to please. Oh, and thank you, Josh, from for allowing me to have this platform. I appreciate you. Dre, we are talking in front of 500,000 people tonight in 34 countries. So no pressure.
Awesome.
No pressure. We do what we do. So with that said, please introduce yourself. Wonderful.
Awesome. Well, Tona, I do want to say thank you, for having me on your show. You have grown tremendously over the last couple years, and yeah, this is super awesome. Again, my name is Andre Williams, a real estate developer, entrepreneur, author, and so many other things here in the city of Trenton. I own 3 daycares and preschools, Noah's Ark Daycare and Noah's Ark Preschool. I have a construction company by the name of Bass Contracting, and I invest in a lot of the properties here in the city of Trenton, renovating them and getting them back on the tax books. Also, recently, I wrote a book called Everybody is a Real Estate Investor. Yes, even you.
Yes.
Which is available on Barnes & Noble, Walmart, and Amazon.com. Also have a book called Tax Lien Investments Made Simple, Made Plain and Simple. And I teach investment strategies based off of how we buy tax liens, foreclose on tax liens, and then try to help people learn that strategy. We try to teach them wholesaling as well, buying and flipping houses, buying mortgage notes, and also buying and renting houses. Most recently, we purchased.
You don't live in the ghetto.
It's all right. It's all right.
I'm just like, the precinct go down, you're going to hear the cars go down the street. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, 14-unit apartment complex. And with this particular property, we want to help with recidivism. So when guys come home from prison, we want to teach them the construction trade and provide them with temporary housing while they're going through the training through our trade school, which is Fresh Start Training Academy. And from there, our goal is to give them permanent employment and then permanent housing as well. So we got our hands in a few things, but all of it to me is still relevant to taking these abandoned properties and getting them back on the tax books and providing services to our people in the community. So whether they're babies, to teenagers, to young adults, to adults, to the elderly, like we want to be able to just impact the whole family. So whatever we can do as far as education and training and employment opportunity, and of course, helping people become homeowners, it'll just help people leave a legacy of their own by the way we plan on empowering them. And I've been doing this, literally for over 20 years. It's just have been elevating and, attaching other pieces to it that would allow us to help more people. So, but the heart has always been the same. Yeah. So that's just a little bit about what I do.
Just a little bit about. When I said he was fantastic, he was amazing. I was not lying.
Yeah,
So, my right hand, Mr. Abdullah, would be very happy because I did not cut you off. One time I told you I'm a master this mess interviewer is shutting up and listening because it'd be like, ask questions because he's so fantastic. He's so amazing. Dre, you've been doing this for a really, like you said, you have been doing this for a really, really, really long time. You have been impacting the community for like ever. What initially made you want to start? Let's try to break it down.
Right.
Because you have so many great things. The daycare, because you have 3 daycares. Mm-hmm. So what initially made you want to open up a daycare?
Well, with the child care, um, when you look at a person finding their purpose, it's always attached to their childhood. You know what I mean? You'll find hints or signals of what a person can become when they're children. So
Mm-hmm.
then if it's a redemptive element attached to that, which most time it is, if you're going to provide a service, is going to impact more than just yourself. So me growing up, my mother had daycares in the home. She was doing, right in houses basically. And me growing up, living in my mother's home, she had about 10 or 15 kids. Every morning I wake up, I'm tripping over these babies, trying to get out to go to school. And I guess seeing that kind of gave me a heart for just people in the community in general, because her unconditional love to help these young parents uh, with a safe haven for their children, it kind of it kind of attached itself to me as well, because I wanted to, you know, uh, find a way to commercialize what she was doing. I didn't want to do it in a home like my mother was doing. She ended up doing it out of like 3 houses at the time. Um, but I wanted to do it in a commercial setting. So I said, you know what? When I get older, I'll do a child care, daycare, but I'll put it in a commercial building so that mom don't have to do it in a house. And by the time I did get older, mom was ready to retire. So I had these buildings, and
He's like, I should do something with him now.
we had to make it work. I already had gotten started, and we built relationships with the Board of Education. We have the Abbott program in
Nice.
two of the buildings, and then we built the relationship with Child Care Connection, which is a county agency that helps families pay for child care. And we've been with them, like I said, going on just with the daycare and preschool about 18 years, just with them.
Nice.
Noah's
Nice.
Ark daycare and Noah's Ark Abbott preschool. And I loved it. Man, I love, we graduated thousands of kids over the last
Awesome.
18. I love the relationships with the community, and seeing some of the same children that came in as infants 17, 18 years ago.
Yeah.
uh, it's just been a blessing to see where it has grown, because now some of those same babies that came in back then are young adults. You know what I mean? And they came through my construction program, one of them. And, just last summer, he came through and I was like, man, I remember when your mom brought you to my daycare as an infant. Now here you are,
Nice.
17 years old, and I'm teaching you the construction trade, which is pretty cool. You know what I mean? So to see that come full circle, I knew then that God was leading me in the right way for his parents to even trust us with their baby
Yes.
all those many years ago. And then to say, as a young man, I want you to learn from, Mr. Andre as well, this trade, learn carpentry, learn how he flip houses. And, this is a way for you to get good experience, and be around some great things that's happening in the community. So it was awesome just to have that experience and to see that come full circle.
So I got the
So I
pleasure,
thank
Andre,
God that
too,
He
of
gave me
helping.
that
Of
vision and
helping.
that purpose so many years ago.
I had the honor of actually working with Andre one summer, and for those who know me, I
I can't hear
really don't.
you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, maybe now. Am I a little louder? Can you hear me? So I had the pleasure of working with Dre one summer. Now, mind you, I went from being a tomboy on 165 acres of land in South Carolina doing tobacco and peas and you name it, feeding
Can you
hogs
hear
and
me?
I can hear you. He went back out, so I'm gonna keep talking. But doing hogs and all that stuff to being a girly girl. And so one summer he asked me to um, overlook his overlook his the children that he had in the program, and I learned so I learned so much that month about how he moves and how supportive he is of his staff and how they loved
Hmm.
him. So his character is like just amazing, and I appreciated him getting me off that couch that summer because that's all I would have done. You know, I'm an educator and I'm a couch. I'm listening. When I had time off, I'd be a bum and loving
Hmm.
it, and probably need water, and I do need water. Dread.
Hmm.
Tell us
You
about
all
your
right?
books. Need some water. Tell us about your
All
books.
right. Okay. Well, I have the latest book that I wrote is Tax Lien Investments Made Plain and Simple, which is available on Amazon.com and Barnes and Noble as well. But it's a book that explains the tax lien industry and how relevant it is to everyday life. The property tax that's paid on a property affects so many things. So when you're thinking about the after school programs, property taxes is used for that. When you're thinking about uh, city jobs, property taxes, of course, is used for that as well. You're thinking about the libraries, the public pools, the public parks, the roadways, the sidewalks. Property taxes basically pay so many different things in a municipality. And when you have that lost revenue because of so many abandoned properties, that city begins to lose programs. And then those programs are affected, again, by these abandoned properties. So my thing is, if I can educate people on how we can help get some of these libraries back open, how we can get some of these public uh, parks and pools and all of those things back up and running and get some of these homes back up and running, it all ties back into property taxes, right? So if you got 8,000 abandoned properties, on average, they're bringing in about 2,000 a year in property taxes. That's over $16 million that the city could potentially be losing um, because it's affected by the abandoned lots, the abandoned commercial properties, and the abandoned residential properties. So when you have all of these open spaces that's not contributing to, you know, society and economics the way that it's supposed to, you lose programs, you lose money. It's like the state will then begin to look at the city as not being able to carry its own weight when it's compared to other cities that have full residential capacity. You know what I mean? So like a Princeton, you probably won't find many abandoned properties in Princeton. You know what I mean? When you look at Ewing, it's even less abandoned properties in Ewing. When you look at Hamilton, you may go through some foreclosures, some tax lien problems, but it's not as heavy as urban areas. So when you got the state looking at all of these other municipalities that are doing well and they have full residential capacity, the federal government, when they pass down money to the state and money is allocated to these cities, more than likely they'll give money to areas that at full capacity because they're managing their property taxes really well. So when you have all these urban areas that's you know have blighted neighborhoods and communities, less money is given to those urban areas. So that's why it's important for us to understand what these property taxes affect when they are paid and when they're not paid, the reverse effect that it's having. And that's why you have the blighted areas. And so in my book, I teach you, when you invest in the property tax liens, sometimes it's on abandoned property. So you got to have an exit strategy. And I teach you how to develop that exit strategy. I teach you how to make 18% interest on your money. Because if you sit your money in a bank, you're not making 18% interest. You might not even getting 1% interest on it. But if you invest in tax liens, that's at least a solid way to earn extra income and to have your money make money for you, right? So the idea is if someone misses a quarter or 2 quarters or the whole year without paying their property taxes, the municipality then will open it up to the public to pay the property taxes. So anyone can go to the tax sale and register for the tax sale. Anyone can buy tax liens over the counter. It's just a matter of knowing that it's out there. And, most people of color, we don't invest in property tax liens. We like, what is that? You know what I mean? Most of the people that I talk to and give these talks to as I promote the book and promote, what we're doing and how we get so many properties. That's the main question people ask. How do you do it? Well, some of it come through tax liens. I've been able to buy, 10 and 15 properties at a time, just going through tax liens. You know what I mean? So it spills into other areas where you can become a wholesaler if you want. If you don't want the bricks and mortar, you foreclose on your tax lien, you own the property, but then you can wholesale the property to other investors. And now you're making even more money on your investment. So you're getting a property, say $2,000, right? You take that $2,000, if nobody redeem it, now you sell that to a wholesaler after you foreclose on it, and you might sell it to the wholesaler for $20,000. So this person buying a property for 20,000 that's a great deal for them, but it made you, your 2,000 back plus whatever, your foreclosure attorney may have cost. If it's, most of the time it's less than $1,000 for them to foreclose. So you're only 3,000 in. Now you made a $17,000 profit on a $3,000 investment. And
Nice.
that's like, you know, 400% profit, 500% profit, which
Dre,
is
if
a
anybody, go ahead.
mm-hmm,
Dre, if anybody wants to reach you, because the one thing that I can say about Dre is that he is definitely not the concept of crab in a barrel. And I always say that I love shining light on people and my world
mm-hmm,
changers, but also people who help and support other people. And that is truly who he is. So Dre, if anyone wants to get in contact with you, 'cause I know there are some people, how people like in 2022, they have ideas and things that they want to
mm-hmm,
do. And I know we got some people listening that want to learn more about how to
mm-hmm.
purchase property, how to flip homes. They have
Right.
money that they want to invest. How can I get in contact with you?
The easiest way in this technology is to email me. I get all of my emails. Phone calls, I don't get all of the phone calls. So if you email me, it's documented, um, and I can respond that way. But my website is www.iamandrewilliams.com. That's www.iamandrewilliams.com. My books are on there. I also have my contact information um, on there as well. And you can just click contact. And once you click contact, the agency will send your emails directly to me. So I get it, almost in real time because they're forwarded like,
Right
somehow
there.
they do through technology where they tie it in and it just pops up on my phone. So any questions you may have, I do recommend you grab the book. Um,
Yes.
Tax liens made plain and simple. If you want to learn how to invest in tax liens, but if you're interested in wholesaling or buying and flipping or buying and holding or buying commercial properties, and even I get properties donated to my nonprofit organization, which is One Heaven Inc. So if you have a nonprofit community service or organization, or you're a church or an association, and you want to learn how to get properties donated to your nonprofit, I'll walk you through that process as well. It's not hard. It's just a matter of knowing what to say and how to market it. Uh, but my phone ring every day,
I'm
from
sure.
people wanting to sell properties to banks wanting to loan us money because they know we're a guarantee. You know what I mean? Um, and so I learned how to say no a lot.
Okay. It's nothing. It's
Yeah,
just nothing wrong with saying no. Sometimes we're like, you just can't do it.
yeah,
Just can't do
because when you have a plan in place, it's certain
it.
things that you want to accomplish in a certain amount of time, and if anything distracts you from that course, how your GPS reroutes you when you can't
Mhm.
go. in certain areas, or
Yeah.
certain neighborhoods, or certain whatever you set your GPS at. If you want
Roadblocks.
to avoid tolls, so to
Roadblocks.
speak, yeah, if
Roadblocks.
you want to avoid tolls, you can say avoid tolls, and it's going to take you, where there are no tolls, but it's still going to get you to that same
Yeah.
destination. And so that's kind of how you have to, live your life when you have certain things that you have to answer for. You know what I mean? Um,
It's funny that
so
you do. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no. That was really the point that I wanted to drive home. Sometimes you have a vision and you have to stay focused on that vision, so you can't take on everything. But I will refer, other GCs or contractors. People always want me to do work on their properties. When they see my videos of my properties, before and after videos,
Amazing work.
yeah, I can't get to them, but
Amazing.
I can refer you to, other solid, dependable GCs that will do right by you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
So
I can't always get to them. It's just impossible.
yeah. So two things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two things. One thing for me is that if I had this coughing attack on WING five-star Solar War Station, someone would have been there with water. I don't understand. Like, I got the Beyonce. Why I don't have a Beyonce crew? I am
Right,
always confused. Why don't I have the Perrier water, my grace?
right,
I say
right.
it every time, even when I do my karaoke, can't sing. Why
Mm-hmm.
don't I have my whole crew with me? Even if I was with you, somebody would have water for me. I got to get up, drink water.
Yeah.
I'll be trying to get. So I need to ask this question. Then I'm gonna get off of this because I don't like to stand on too long. And
Right.
so I'm gonna ask this question: am I the only one when it gets from hot to cold to hot, that my allergies, the sinuses just go haywire every time? I told you when I was in South Carolina, it was 74 degrees. And then we got off the plane, it was probably 30 degrees. And then Trenton went back up to like 60 degrees. And then overnight, it went down to like 20 degrees. And my
Mm-hmm.
sinuses are like, no, girl. Nope, it's draining. So I apologize for having to run off the set, but I didn't want to be
That's
coughing
all right.
all over. I didn't want to be coughing all on the camera. I just put a horse in my mouth. I'm hoping I'm not doing this because last time because of course I don't have my people with me. Last time I did this with a piece of mint in my mouth, and this is what I heard. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what? There's nobody here to tell me that back sound. I'm smacking with this candy in my mouth trying to talk. And I
Mm-hmm.
just said, oh, I'm gonna take this out of my mouth because I just said it, did it. So
Mm-hmm.
with that said, Andre, you have to buy Andre Williams' book. He's also on Amazon. He's also on Born and Nobles. His books
Mm-hmm.
are, like he said, on his page. I need to thank One Heaven Inc. personally because they are also and they support our Votes of Walk every year. If you ever look at
Mm-hmm.
my flyers or my information, it always says, Votes of Warriors in conjunction with One Heaven Inc. And so I thank you all for your support. I thank you for everything. I can tell Dre that I'm
Yeah.
feeding. For those who don't know me, I feed people, we clothe people, we do gift bags, we do everything and for the
That's right.
community. And so anytime I call, I'm like, Dre, we need like 200 bags of potato chips. So we need blah, blah, blah. He either
Right.
cash at me the money or he'll
Yeah.
make sure I have it. And I appreciate you for all that you not only do for me, but not only for the community,
Yeah.
but the world at large. Because one thing that I do know in the 7.3 miles, if you can have a
Mm-hmm.
child raised up in a home, that goes with
Mm-hmm.
them for a long, that goes with them forever. And
That's
I always say it's my guess or world changers, one person at a time, meaning that if we are in the ocean and we throw a rock or water and we throw a rock and just sort of continue to ricochet. And so we may be starting here, but we're going to change
right.
the world. That's our goal.
Absolutely.
And I tell people, I only hang with eagles. I know eagles soar by themselves, but I mean, we all have the mentalities that we know that working together makes us stronger, make us more powerful. And so we always have
Absolutely.
each other back. And so I'm so grateful
Yeah.
that God has
Absolutely.
put my little big brother again, trying to get up to this, my
Mm-hmm.
little big brother in my life, Mr.
Yeah.
Andre Williams. Give us your email one more time, Dre.
All right. The easiest email to remember is info at basscontractingllc.com. That's info at basscontractingllc.com. That's one of my email addresses that will come directly Also from the website, www.iamandrewilliams.com. Um, you'll find the books and you'll find other ways to contact me on there as well. Um, we also have oneheaveninc.com, which is our nonprofit community service organization. You're just going through it over there, huh?
Well,
It's all right. Get yourself together.
this
Get it
side is
together.
so true.
Yeah.
Great in. Great in. Great in.
All right. No problem.
That's my sign to get off. Thank you. I will see you on next Wednesday. I love you, Dre.
Mhm.
Bye.
Love you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. God bless you guys out there.